What's up guys, Loki here and welcome back to another HumanitZ 1.0 video, and in this one we're going to be focusing on weapons, survival and professions under the skills category. Now this has been fully reworked for 1.0 and are very important for you guys. So I have gone out my way and unlocked every single one, and we're going to break them down and I will give my 2 pence into what I think is very good. This is also going to help you guys who are solo players as well, because as we know, you can eventually have 3 professions. You start with 1, you'll unlock a second at 30 and a third at level 60. So for solo players, yes, it's going to be very important. If you're in a group, you can kind of mix and match, but we're going to go through them and hopefully this will help you out. Guys, if this video does help you, please make sure you do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. There'll be lots more HumanitZ content come in the future. So the first thing we're going to focus on is the professions. So the very first one we have is Unemployed. Now, hopefully, like I said, this will help you guys pick your first profession before you actually start the game, by being able to see all of the sub menus that go with it. So the first one, like I say, this is just a passive 25% more experience gained. Yeah, it's good if you're going to gain obviously more skill points faster. One thing to note is you will not be able to unlock every single skill in this game. From what I can see, and I could be wrong, but I have maxed out here at a level 125. Now, whether that is going to be the max level, I'm not sure, but that's as far as I can get with it. And so you're going to get 125 skill points to spend. Now, as we go through the video, I'll explain to you certain skill points will require a certain level, and some of them cost 1, some cost 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So just be very careful what you're going to choose. So yeah, that's the very first one, which is Unemployed. So the next one we're going to talk about is Amateur Boxer. The passive you're going to get with this is Fist Fighting. Deals 300% unarmed damage. It's quite a lot. It is a lot. For me personally, I'm not a big fan. I don't like being that close. The Zeeks can get on top of you pretty quick. So again, it just depends on your play style. But we'll run through the skills for you anyway. So the first one we have is Fast Hands, 5% faster unarmed attacks. Okay, this one is, like I said, its required level is 2 and cost 2. I'm not going to say the level and cost for every single one of these, but we'll just run through so you guys can see exactly what you're going to get with each of these professions. So that's the first one. Then we have Iron Chin, 10% reduction, reduced damage from unarmed melee attacks. Then we have Float Like a Butterfly, attacks cost 20% less stamina. Then we have Big and Brawny, 30% chance of knocking helmets off enemies. And then the last one here, which is the big one, okay, Comeback Kid, temporarily boosts unarmed damage and speed when health drops below 25%. It's very useful, can be very useful. So yeah, this is Amateur Boxer, and these are the sub skills that you're going to get with it. Okay, the next one we'll go on to is Car Salesman. Passive. Trading costs 25% less. Again, this one, I am quite keen on this one. It seems to be very handy. I mean, a lot of these are handy, but obviously we can only pick 3. So yeah, 25% less. Now, the first one we've got here is Gift of the Gab. Buying items from traders are reduced by 25% overall. Pretty good. We have Silver Tongue. Can sell items for twice the value to traders. Again, also pretty damn good. Broken Goods. Able to sell low quality items to traders. Then we have Anyone Out There. Increase success rate of calling traders. Again, decent. This last one is actually really good in my opinion. Uni 91 can select which trader they want to call in. So there are multiple traders. You can call in like a food and drink trader, weapons trader, car parts trade. Like, so to me, that is actually a really good one. So yeah, that is Car Salesman. Then the next one we're going to go on to is Chemist. So the passive for this, double yield when crafting magnesium powder. So magnesium's a new ore that's being added into the game. And this stuff is going to be useful for a variety of things, including of the new special ammo that we can get. So yeah, we'll run through these. So the first one we have is Master Treater. Craft 2 times treatments at the chemistry station instead of 1. Pretty good. Compound Expert, ability to craft 2 times antiseptic bandages. Very good. Bandages, are those of you that have watched me play HumanitZ, I go through a lot of bandages. So this one's pretty big. This is pretty good. And then we have Refinery. Reduced resources for crafting fuel, also pretty good. Let them cook 2 times the amount of gunpowder crafted. That is very good for when making ammo. So with the new update, things can be scarce again depending on what type of settings you're playing on. If you're solo or if you're on a multiplayer server, but that's a pretty good one, especially when it comes to crafting ammo, because some people go through ammo a lot. I do, and it can sometimes be very difficult to find. So good. Then we have Rebreather, crafting your own gas mask filters. So there are some things in the game that you won't be able to craft unless you like read a magazine or unlock it via the skill system. Well, this is one of them. So unless you actually have this skill, you won't be able to craft a gas mask filter, so you'll have to go out and find them. But still, a decent one. Then the next one we will talk about is Farmer. So your passive is Fertilizer is more potent. Pretty good, okay. For those of you that love farming, I mean, farming's great in HumanitZ, but there's some good ones in this as also. We have Need for Steed. I do love some of these names, by the way, so yeah, it's good. Right, feeding horses doubles energy levels. Then we have Green Thumb. Crops grow 30% faster. That's pretty damn good. Honest Work, harvest double the crop yield. Also good. And then we have Second Harvest. Gain seeds when harvesting crops. And then we have Frost Farmer. Can grow all crops in winter. So again, it's a very good skill to have. And you know, you can see that you need to be level 10 for it, and it will cost you 5 skill points. So again, this is why I say you're gonna have to plan kind of where you want to go. And like I say, yeah, hopefully this video will help you. You will plan your adventures based on your play style. So anyway, we will move on to the next one. So the next one, Mechanic. Now this is one I do very much like. Again, it's just depends on your play style, whether you're solo or not, but we'll run through this. Passive, vehicle repairs are 25% more effective. I know a lot of people say, well, Loki needs that because his driving's awful, but, you know, my driving's not that bad. It's not that bad. But yeah, we'll run through these anyway. So we have Junkyard Dog, guaranteed car part from harvesting wrecked vehicles. So this is why I like this. Very early on, depending where you spawn, obviously you can get a car. It can be very difficult to get certain car parts early. And I think this is a really, really strong one. If you can get to level 4, and it's going to cost you 3 points to get to level 4, and that it won't take you too long, but it will guarantee you car parts from destroying vehicles. So it is a very strong one in my opinion. The next one we have is Pit Stop, reduced time to craft vehicle armor. Then we have Surf Fix-a-Lot, reduced cost of crafting repair kits. And then we have Wrench Warrior, 25% more damage with the pipe wrench. And then we have Gearhead, repair fuel pump and starter motor with screwdriver. So this one again, when your fuel pump and your starter motor get low, rather than finding a new one, you can use a screwdriver and actually repair them. Pretty good. Overall, it's a very strong profession in my opinion, and something I would potentially take straight off the bat. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Next one we have is emergency medical technician. So your passive here, healing items are 25% more effective. Again, this is another really strong one in my opinion, and also one that I would think about taking first off, because HumanitZ can be very rough early game. Once you start venturing into places and the Zeeks start having a go at you. So healing is very, very important in HumanitZ. So we'll run through these. We have Farmer Hunter, increased amount of medical items when opening bottles or boxes. Very strong one. As you go around the map and find these boxes, you're going to get more in them. Pretty good. Then we have a field medic. When healing other players, healing is increased by 20%. Now, obviously, if you're solo, you don't have to unlock all of these, just so you know. But this is obviously good if you're in a team. Then the next one we have is speedy recovery. Decreased time it takes to heal. Pretty strong. When you're in animation and you're healing, you walk quite slow. Some of the Zeeks are pretty damn quick, and you don't want to get stuck with them beating on you while you're trying to heal with your last 10 HP, and then all of a sudden you're dead because you couldn't run. So this is pretty good, pretty strong. And then we have second wind. So injured threshold reduced by 50%. Again, a very strong skill in my opinion. So overall, yes, the emergency medical technician is definitely something I would consider taking first and foremost before, when you first start the game. Anyway, moving on. Next one we have is military veteran. So the passive takes twice as long to become tired. Now, I have this. This was my first profession that I took. It is a very good one, and again, something I would consider, as I did, taking it at the very beginning of the game. So we'll run through these. We have combat hardened, 10% less recoil and sway when using rifles. Now, the rifles in this game are so fun. I've used a lot of the M4, and that 10% doesn't sound like a lot, but it helps. Believe me, it does help, especially if you're trying to fire at range, or control your shots, because trying to conserve ammo, The next one we have is field maintenance. So weapon jamming threshold reduced. Weapon jamming is a thing now, and the last thing you want to be doing is having a horde of Zeeks coming around you, and you're in the middle of trying to fix a jam. So that's also a very good one. Then we have my rifle gun repair kits repair 50% more durability. That is huge. We also have gunsmith. So crafted firearms start at 100% durability. That is massive as well, because if you crafted an item and it's less than that, then it's just going to wear out quicker. So again, a very strong one to have. And then we also have here the last one, Kurahi. I hope I said it right. But yeah, 10% stamina reduction when sprinting and carrying a rifle in hand. That is pretty good. Stamina is important in this game because, like I say, some of the Zeeks are fast, and you need to run. You need to run. So again, this is a very strong profession, in my opinion. But anyway, we will move on to the next one. Again, this one, Outdoorsman, a very, very good one. Also something I would consider starting off with. And we will run through these. Your passive is 10% less sway for all bow types. So for Outdoorsman, especially early game, those of you that have seen some of my videos, I like to get a bow. Bows are very strong, they're silent, and it will help you a lot. I think I would probably take this on like my second playthrough because it is strong. But then there's a way up between another one, so we'll go through it with you guys anyway. So the first one is Sunday Fisherman. Fishing catch increased by 100%. So basically, you're guaranteed to catch a fish, which is huge. Fish, food, happy days. Just make sure you well, live by a lake. You know, it's good, or the sea. The happy days. Then we have Firekeeper. So campfires last longer and give more heat. That would be massive in winter. Being able to last longer and obviously give off more heat, because when you get a blizzard, it can be a little bit rough, even if you're indoors. If you're not wearing the right clothes, yeah, can definitely be a little bit rough. Then we have Ghillie. Less chance of animals seeing or hearing you. So those of you that love hunting, it's a very good one. So you can creep up behind the animals and take them out a little bit more stealthy. Then we have Stitch in Time. So decrease the time it takes to craft animal hide. Animal hide, again, very good for making winter clothes. And then last but not least, we have Warm Blooded. Again, this is a very strong one because your core temperature increased during winter. So winter can be very rough for those of you that have played the game quite a lot. So having your core temperature increase during winter is pretty damn big. So again, a very strong one as a starter pick. So yeah, anyway, we'll move on. Next one, we have Thief. So the passive here, significantly reduce the chance of triggering alarms. Again, this is a very good perk to start off with. I mean, like I say, they're all good, people. They're all good, but and it does make it very difficult to pick which one you want to take to start with. But this is a good one. The first perk we have here is Burglar. So makes lock picking easier. Then we have Nightcrawler. Enemies detection radius reduced at night. This is pretty big. It can get very dark in HumanitZ, especially if the weather's not great and the moon's not out. So I'd probably say you're more likely to die at nighttime than any other time if you do go out wandering. So again, it's a very strong one. Then we also have Greedy Hands here. So higher chance of items in locked containers. Your locked containers hold most of the time good gear, so having a higher chance of items in locked containers, I think is pretty good, especially with the rework and stuff of finding gear in here. It's going to be very strong. And then the last one we have is a Master of Unlocking. So the chance of breaking lockpicks reduced. So you don't have to waste lockpicks, because you can craft lockpicks, which is good. But again, this is a pretty good one for those of you that are interested. Again, I believe it's pretty good myself. So next one, we are on to Firefighter. Again, this is probably, in my opinion, one of the strongest professions that I would love to take, and I'll explain to you the reasons why I love it and why it's so strong. So the first thing is overheated effect is nullified. Just means in summertime, you're gonna be happy because you're not gonna you're not gonna overheat. All right, which is good. When you're stupidly hot or when you're overheated, you get thirsty quicker. So again, straight off the bat, good passive. Now the first one we have is Here's Johnny, and that is deal 10% additional damage with axes. So if you do take the Firefighter, each one of these professions, you start with a weapon. Depending on the profession, you actually will start with an axe. So only required level 2, and it costs 2 skills. You can get an extra 10% damage with an axe, and it's pretty damn good. So yeah, great skill here. We have Triage, again, heals other players in addition 10% of HP. Only good if you are in a group. If you're a solo, you don't even need to waste your points on this one. The next one we have is reduced fire damage. For those of you that like to throw Molotovs right close by and start to burn yourself, this will be very good. I've done it myself. So yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. The next one we have is Cleaner. Now this is huge. 50% increased damage using all fire weapons. So Molotovs, very, very strong in HumanitZ of clearing out big groups of Zeeks. If you can get onto a roof and gather them in an area using an alarm or whistling or whatever, using Molotovs is very, very helpful. So 50% increased damage is huge. And again, if you find the flamethrower or find the book to be able to craft it, the flamethrower is it's so good. It's such a fun weapon to use. So again, this one's huge. And then the last one we have is Head Splitter. So fire axes have a 50% chance to one-tap enemies. But remember, that is just for fire axes. But still, 50% chance to one-tap an enemy. That is huge. So for me, yeah, I as of this part here, this perk, this profession is huge in my opinion. And then on to the last one, we have Electrical Engineer. So our passive here is gain the knowledge of building powered structures. This just means you won't need to find the book to unlock the generator and stuff. So it's a good passive to start with if you just want to get straight into building and getting your base kind of sorted. It's a pretty good one. So the first one you have here is more power. Generators and improvised fridge batteries last twice as long applied to the built structure. Okay, it's pretty good though, pretty good. Then we have trickle charge. Batteries charge twice as fast. Then we have tech scav. Higher chance at finding electronic parts when looting PCs. Pretty good as well. And then we also have overcharge. So electrical traps deal 25% more damage. This is very strong because obviously you can get your electrified fences up. And yeah, 25% more damage is pretty good. So these are the professions, and I'll break these down into chapters for you guys so you can just kind of skip to which ones you want to read or look at. My opinion, my first opinion, firefighter, massive, huge. If I was a solo player, I would personally play probably firefighter, outdoorsman, and probably military veteran would be the three choices. Or again, so mechanic, emergency medical technician, military veteran, outdoorsman, and firefighter. These are ones I find really good for myself. Like I say, this is just my opinion. But if you're in a group, just make sure you're not all taking the same thing. You might as well split it up and make your lives easier. But when you're a solo player, yeah, it's a little bit more difficult. So pick your first one, make sure it's a good one that you want, and then now you've seen each of these, you'll be able to hopefully plan ahead and pick the profession that you want. Now, moving on to survival, and then we'll go on to weapons. So I've unlocked, like I say, all of these start locked, people. So if you know, you'll have little subtasks you need to do to unlock them. So you're going to have to focus on that first, but once you have, we will run into this. So we have movement and world. So we have parkour. Vaulting and climbing consumes 50% less stamina. Then we have sprinter. Reduce stamina consumption when running by 10%. Speed, stealth. Move faster while crouched. Again, these are all good, right? So all of these are good, but you're not going to be able to unlock every single one, okay? Lightfoot, reduce noise when jogging and sprinting. Deep pockets, this one's huge. Gives you an extra row of storage pockets. So those of you loot goblins like myself, you'll be well away. Then we have Beast of Burden, again, a very, very good one. Increase your max carry weight from 35 kilos to 55 kilos. So it's an extra 20 kilos. Again, a huge one. I would highly recommend these two at least for you loot goblins out there. We then have Brace for Impact, reduce fall damage up to 50%. And we have Wrestler finishers, use 50% less stamina. Now, finishers are very good, very strong. I use them a lot. Just make sure you use them at the right time. If there's lots of Zeeks coming after you, do not do a finisher, because while you're in animation, you're going to die. I'm just saying. So yeah, this is movement and world. Next thing we move on to is crafting and building. Again, there's some very good ones in here. We have Yearn for the mines, double harvest of mining nodes. Very good. Lumberjack, increased damage by 50% when cutting trees. And we have Make It Last. Improvised weapons, durability increased by 50%. Very good early game, this one. Reload of 50% more ammo when crafted. Now, that is huge. Again, remember, some of these will go with certain professions that you have. So, for example, like this one, double the harvest of mining nodes, and then you get double like magnesium and stuff like that in one of the professions. So just bear in mind, some of these will stack quite nicely together and really give you a bit of a boost. So moving on, we have Master Chef, 25% increased stats from cooked items. We have Resourcefulness. Now again, this one's huge because it reduces building resource requirements by 50%. Massive. Make sure you get this one. Carpentry. Wood structures have 25% increased durability. Then we also have unlock metal upgrades for structures. Metalworking. And then Masonry Artist unlocks concrete upgrades for structures. So that is for like your base structures of putting the concrete at the bottom of them. And then we have base defense. Increase overall base structure HP by 50%. It's huge. It's that 50 again for maybe PvP, very good. But being able to boost that by 50% is pretty big. So that is your crafting and building. Then we go on to health. So Red Eye, reduce need for sleep by 25%. Also very good. Now, if you imagine you've taken this perk here, which takes twice as long to become tired, and then you take Red Eye, it's great. It's really good. Healthy Gut, reduce food poisoning risk by 25%. Then we have Famine, reduce hunger depletion by 20%. Drought, reduce the thirst depletion by 20%. Calloused, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I hope I said it right, but reduce the risk of bleeding by 25%. Controlled breathing, gas mask deterioration is reduced by 50%. That's huge. It's not a cure. Skill to craft infection treatment. So this is the skill they're on about, people, that you need to actually craft the infection treatment. So again, required level, you can get this from level 1 and it only costs you 2, but you will need to open the health one first. And then we have Resilient, increased max health by 10%. Again, this one's massive, people. This is huge. So this is your health ones. Then we go on to hunting. We have Trapper, double the meat from animal traps. We have Butcher, more meat from harvesting animals. Vital Shot, we have increased chance of vital organ damage when shooting animals. So sometimes you'll shoot an animal and they'll run away. This perk will potentially, hopefully, help you kill them faster before they do that. But yeah. Then we have Tracker, the ability to track blood trails of wounded animals. So again, this is your hunting one. Survival perks, pretty damn strong, all in all. And now we're going to go on to the weapons. Now, some of these can be quite long, as you can see here, melee weapons. But this is where you kind of need to refine where you want to go, people, because trying to unlock all of these, you can obviously do it, but it just depends. So the first one you got here is melee boost. It gives you 5% damage to increase all melee weapons. Now some of these are locked. You will have to go a certain route to unlock them. Here you can see we have light stamina, 10% stamina, less stamina when using light weapons. Light bladed, 10% extra damage with light bladed weapons. We have rogue, light bladed weapons deal 2 times damage from behind. And then swift strikes, we have light melee attack speed increased by 10%. So again, whether you want to go light, medium, or heavy, you need to think about where you want to go, people, okay? But yeah, it's good. Next one, we have light combo damage, so 20% extra damage when landing a final combo hit with light blunt weapons. Then we have 10% more damage using light blunt weapons. We then go to powerhouse, heavy weapon use, 25% less stamina, huge. Heavy blunt, 10% more damage using heavy blunts. Heavy stamina, 10% less stamina when using heavy weapons. Heavy bladed, 10% extra damage with heavy bladed weapons. And then Blade Master, we all love the katana, but all bladed weapons deal 20% more damage, so very, very good. We'll go to the top of this one. So we have medium bladed, 10% extra damage with medium bladed weapons. Spartan spears consume 25% less stamina to use. We have medium stamina, medium weapons use 10% less stamina. Home run, baseball bats deal 20% more damage. Baseball bats are really good. I enjoy using them. Very strong weapon. Definitely probably a perk that I would pick up. Medium blunt, 10% more damage using medium blunt weapons. And then we have medium combo damage, 20% extra damage when landing a final combo hit with medium blunt weapons. And then we go to knockdown here, which is increased chance of knocking down Zeeks, which is good. Going to help you, trust me. And then last but not least, we have Head Smasher. Increase your chances of landing a headshot with melee weapons. This one's very good, but obviously follow the arrows, people, if you need to unlock certain ones like this, and then it will just push you in that direction. But if you want to go for the Spartan Spear, for example, me unlocking this one won't. You just need to follow the arrows. But yeah, so that's your melee weapons, and we will move on to firearms next. And again, depending on your playstyle, will depend on the way you want to go with this. So to start with, we have steady aim. Reduces all firearms sway by 25%. Very good. Then we have smooth aim. Reduce reticle bloom when moving. Then we go, I'm just going to go all the way down here, and then well, I'll go to this one, and we'll do left and right. Rapid rack, so reload speed improved for all SMGs. So from this bit here is where you're going to pick your kind of route, because here you got mag flip, reload speed improved for all rifles, right? And this one is for all pistols, this one is for all SMGs, this one is for shotguns, and this one for snipers. So just weigh up where you want to go and pick the route you want. Then we have brass catcher, 10% chance to recover brass when expending rounds. So if you suddenly open up your inventory and see a load of brass in your backpack and you're like, hey, I didn't pick up that. Well, if you have this perk unlocked, you have a 10% more chance to recover brass. So yeah, just bear that in mind. We then have cleaning kit, so firearm durability reduces at a slower rate. Very good, very strong. And at the very bottom here, we have stockpile. Unlocks the ability to craft unique ammo types for firearms. You will want this. Unique ammo types. That's your special ammo. For those of you that have played and noticed that there's a load of locked ammo in your weapons bench, that is the reason why. So you'll want to get to this at some point so you can craft the special ammo. But yeah, so that's firearms. Then we move on to bows. So again, bows, bows are really strong, like I said. Just depends on your play style. But we have keen eye here, which reduce reticle radius by 25% for all bow weapons. We have steady aim, reduces weapon sway by 5% for all bow weapons. Then we have Deadeye, reduces weapon sway of all bow weapons by 25%. We have Clean Kill, reduced chance of improvised arrows from breaking, so more chance of you being able to pick them up. Then we have Bow Stamina, so 10% less stamina using a bow. Crossbow Stamina, 10% less stamina using a crossbow. Then we have Fast Hands here, faster reloading when using a crossbow. Crossbows are good, but again, a little bit slow at reloading than a normal bow. But obviously, if you use this skill, then happy days. We then have True Draw, reduces reticle bloom when moving with a bow. And Still Hand here reduces reticle bloom when moving with a crossbow. And then this one here, we have Rule of the Wrist, reduce stamina usage for all bow weapons by 50%. Pretty good, pretty strong as well. And you can use it from level 1, obviously, once you've worked your way down the list. And then at the very bottom here, we have Bow Master. Using a bow or crossbow consumes 0 stamina. So again, if those of you that love to just run around with a bow, happy days. 0 stamina usage, win-win. And then last but not least, we have explosives and traps. Again, something very important to use. It will be handy, obviously, in PvP as well as PvE. But the new traps that they've added. So here we have Shell Surprise, unlocks the shotgun trap. Very good. It looks good. It's so good. It is good. We have Ring My Bell. So craft simple alarm traps. Again, something like this will be helpful if you're out and about and you want to try and make a distraction, or if someone's coming to your base and it's like an early warning system for you so you can prepare yourself. Yeah, very good. Then we have Hacker, unlocks the knowledge to use the hacking device. As we know, this will be very important to a lot of people, so being able to get hold of this will be very important. And then this one we have here is Rigged to Blow, unlock improvised tripwire with grenades. Very strong and does a hell of a lot of damage, so I'm sure people will have a lot of fun with these. But yeah, basically that is that's that, people. That is your professions, your survival, and your weapons. I hope it has helped you out. I will do my best to put these into chapters for you so you can whip to each one that you want. And I certainly hope that this has helped you out. And as I said earlier on, if this has helped, I would really appreciate you guys giving us a like and subscribing to the channel. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I hope you all have a fantastic day or night, whatever time it is for you. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. But for now, guys, Loki out.